Are you over 50 and think friends with benefits is just a meaningless hookup? Or worse, a recipe for disaster that'll leave you crying into your wine at 2 a.m.? Here's what nobody's telling you. A 2023 study from the Kinsey Institute found that adults over 50 in well-defined FWB arrangements reported 34% higher life satisfaction than those in traditional dating or those who were chronically single. 34%. But here's the catch. Most people get it completely wrong. They think it's about sex. It's not. The secret to a successful FWB at this age is about a powerful energy exchange that boosts your confidence, your vitality, and frankly, your will to get out of bed in the morning. I'm Elle, and welcome to Aged and Confused, where we tackle the topics nobody else will. Today, we're redefining FWB after 50, and I'm going to give you the 5 pillars that turn a casual arrangement into an incredible source of joy. Stick around because the third pillar, lifestyle synergy, is the absolute game changer that separates the people who thrive from those who crash and burn. Pillar 1, redefined benefits, the energy exchange. Let's start by blowing up everything you think you know. After 50, the real benefits aren't what you think. They're laughter, companionship, being genuinely seen by another human being. It's a mutual energy exchange that boosts self-esteem, lowers cortisol levels, and reminds you that you're still a vibrant, desirable person. Dr. Helen Fisher, biological anthropologist and senior research fellow at the Kinsey Institute, says this: "The brain systems for romantic love, attachment, and sex drive are distinct, but interconnected. After 50, when we prioritize companionship alongside physical connection, we activate all 3 systems in a balanced way that's actually healthier for our mental state." Here's the framework that makes this work. The 3-to-1 rule. For every 1 intimate encounter, ensure there are 3 non-intimate, meaningful shared activities. I'm talking about a museum trip where you debate the meaning behind a piece of art, a political discussion over coffee where you actually listen instead of just waiting to talk, helping them install their new smart TV, going to a farmer's market and cooking a meal together. This isn't just feel-good advice, it's neurological science. When you share activities, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, without the pressure of sexual performance. You're building a foundation of genuine care. Let me tell you about Daniel and Marie. Both in their late 50s, both divorced, both absolutely terrified of commitment, but lonely as hell. They met at a community gardening project and decided to try an FWB arrangement. For the first 3 months, they followed the rule religiously. They went to jazz concerts, they volunteered at a food bank, they took a pottery class, yes, like that scene in Ghost, and yes, it was hilarious. Then Marie's mother had a stroke. Marie was overwhelmed, panicking about medical decisions, drowning in paperwork. Daniel showed up, not with flowers or empty platitudes. He showed up with a legal pad, helped her organize questions for the doctors, sat with her in the hospital waiting room for 6 hours. They didn't have sex that week. They didn't need to. The intimacy they shared was deeper than anything physical. That's when Marie told me, "I realized the real benefit was having someone who cared about me when I wasn't at my best, when I wasn't sexy or fun. That's when I knew this was something real." Think of it less as a transaction and more as a vitality boost, because here's the truth. Nobody talks about how isolating life after 50 can be. Your kids are grown, your career might be winding down, friends move away or get too busy. An FWB done right, it's a lifeline. But here's where people mess up. They forget that for this to work, you need the unconditional friendship first. Pillar 2. Unconditional friendship, the foundation. Here's the non-negotiable. The relationship must survive if sex is completely off the table. If it can't, you don't have a friend with benefits. You have a booty call with delusions of grandeur. I call this the coffee test. Imagine sitting across from this person for 30 minutes. No touching, no flirting, no promise of anything physical afterward. Just conversation. Are you still completely engaged? Are you genuinely curious about what they're saying? Do you laugh at their stupid jokes, even when they're not that funny? If you're checking your phone or thinking about an exit strategy, it's a hookup, not an FWB. Psychologist Dr. Jonna Vrangela, who studies casual relationships, found that the key differentiator between successful and failed FWB arrangements is simple. Do you care about them when they're not with you? Do you think about texting them a funny meme? Do you worry when they mention they're feeling under the weather? Do you remember details about their life? Their kid's graduation, their annoying coworker, their favorite brand of coffee. That's friendship. That's the safety net. Let me tell you about Robert and Linda. They met at a book club, both bibliophiles, both shark-witted, both attracted to each other, but neither wanted a traditional relationship. They started their FWB arrangement with crystal clear boundaries. 6 months in, Robert's diabetes worsened, and his doctor put him on new medication that completely killed his libido for 3 months. Here's where most arrangements fall apart. But Linda, she showed up every Thursday for their standing movie night. They watched films, ordered Thai food, talked about everything from philosophy to their grandchildren. When Robert tried to apologize for not holding up his end, Linda stopped him cold. "Robert," she said, "you think I'm here for sex? I'm here because you're my friend. The sex is wonderful, but you, just you, are what I value." 3 months later, when Robert's body adjusted and his energy returned, their physical relationship resumed. But the foundation they built during that crisis, unshakable. That's the difference. The friendship provides the crucial safety net when life gets messy. And after 50, life is always ready to get messy. Health scares, family drama, financial stress, grief. If your FWB can't weather those storms with you, it's not built to last. Protect the friendship ferociously, and the benefits will thrive naturally. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Elle, I get it, friendship first, but how do we actually keep this alive? How do we keep it fun? That's where the game changer comes in. Pillar 3, lifestyle synergy, the game changer. Here's what I've learned. After 50, vitality is a conscious choice. You don't stumble into it, you build it. And a synergistic FWB relationship makes that choice easier and way more enjoyable. Most people think lifestyle compatibility means we both like Netflix. Wrong. I'm talking about 3 types of synergy: physical, intellectual, and spiritual. Physical synergy. This goes way beyond walking around the block. According to the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, adults over 50 who exercise with a partner are 85% more likely to maintain consistent activity levels. Think pickleball, the fastest growing sport among people over 50. Community gardening, where you're building something together. Dance classes, salsa, ballroom, even line dancing. Learning a new language together, which studies show can delay cognitive decline. I know a couple, Stephen and Patricia, both 62, they took up rock climbing together. Indoor climbing at first, nothing crazy. Stephen told me, there's something about belaying for each other, literally trusting the other person with your safety, that created this bond we didn't expect. Plus, we both got in ridiculous shape. Intellectual synergy. This is about shared curiosity, watching documentaries and then debating them over wine, joining a lecture series at your local library, reading the same book and discussing it, starting a podcast together about a topic you both love. One FWB pair I know decided to learn about astronomy. They bought a telescope, joined an amateur astronomy club, spent nights lying on blankets identifying constellations. That shared sense of wonder, it's intoxicating. Dr. Arthur Aaron's research on building intimacy found that couples who engage in novel, challenging activities together report significantly higher relationship satisfaction. The key word is novel, not the same dinner and movie routine, something that makes you both slightly uncomfortable, where you're learning together. Spiritual synergy. I'm not necessarily talking about religion, though if that's your thing, great. I'm talking about shared purpose. Volunteering together at an animal shelter, participating in environmental activism, mentoring younger people in your field. Building something meaningful together creates a sense of partnership that transcends the physical. Margaret and Tom, both in their mid-50s, started volunteering at a literacy program, teaching adults to read. They told me that seeing each other in that context, patient, compassionate, making a real difference, deepened their respect and attraction in ways that surprised them both. Frame this all as date night meets self-improvement. You're not just passing time, you're growing together. And here's the neurological magic. Shared effort and achievement release oxytocin and dopamine. Those are bonding hormones that strengthen your non-sexual connection, which actually reduces performance pressure in the bedroom. Now, if this idea of building a connection on shared energy and intentional friendship is clicking with you, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. But before we get to the fun stuff, we need to talk about the hard stuff, because without this next pillar, everything falls apart. Pillar 4, radical honesty. The hard conversations. You cannot, and I mean cannot, do this without radical honesty. No games, no assumptions, no, I'll just see how it goes. That's how people get hurt. Let me hit you with some data that'll wake you up. The CDC reported that STI rates among adults over 50 have more than doubled since 2012. Doubled. Why? Because older adults often assume they're safe, they don't ask the uncomfortable questions, and they skip protection. That's not just unwise, it's dangerous. So here are the 3 specific, non-negotiable conversations you must have before anything physical happens. Conversation 1, the exclusivity clause. You need to ask directly, are you seeing or sleeping with other people? And here's the script that makes it less awkward. Listen, I really like what we have here and I want to protect it. For me to feel comfortable and safe, I need to know, are you currently involved with anyone else, either romantically or physically? I'm not asking you to change your situation, I just need to know the truth so I can make informed decisions about my health and my heart. Notice the framing. It's not accusatory. It's about self-care. If they're seeing others, you can decide if that works for you. Maybe you require exclusivity for sexual encounters, but not emotional ones. Maybe you're fine with ethical non-monogamy as long as everyone's honest and practicing safe sex. There's no wrong answer, only dishonesty is wrong. Conversation 2, the future feelings check-in. This is the big one. You need to establish up front what happens if someone catches feelings. Because according to research by Dr. Justin Lee Miller, nearly 60% of FWB relationships end because one person develops deeper romantic feelings. Here's the language. I valued this connection and I want to protect both of us. If at any point my feelings shift and I find myself wanting more, or if your feelings change, I need us to promise we'll be honest about it immediately. Can we agree that changing feelings aren't a failure? They're just information, and we'll talk about them openly. You're giving each other permission to be vulnerable. You're making it safe to say, hey, I'm falling for you, or I need to take a step back. Without this agreement, people stay silent, build resentment, or ghost, all of which destroy the friendship. Conversation 3, the exit plan. Nobody wants to think about endings at the beginning, but you must. How will you end this respectfully if it's not working? Here's what I recommend. If either of us decides this isn't working anymore, let's agree to have an honest conversation rather than just fading away. We can take space if we need it, but let's commit to preserving the friendship if possible. Deal? Having this conversation up front removes so much anxiety. You know there's a plan. You know you won't be ghosted or treated with cruelty. Now, let's talk about sexual health specifically because this is life or death serious. Before any sexual activity, you both need to get tested for STIs, full panel, no shortcuts, and share the results with each other. Yes, it's awkward. Yes, it feels clinical. But you know what's more awkward? A chlamydia diagnosis at 55. Frame it as a mature act of mutual respect. I care about you and I care about myself. Let's both get tested so we can enjoy this without worry. Use barrier protection until you both have recent clean tests and you've agreed on exclusivity. Here's the ongoing check-in language that keeps everything healthy. I really value what we have, and to protect it, I need to check in. Where are you feeling right now about the level of commitment? Has anything changed for you? Emotionally, physically, or in terms of what you're wanting from this? Do this check-in every 4 to 6 weeks. It sounds tedious, but it becomes second nature, and it prevents massive blow-ups. Remember, boundaries aren't walls designed to keep people out. They're guidelines designed to keep the friendship safe. They're the rules of the road that prevent crashes. All right, we've covered the hard talk. Now let's talk about the beautiful part, the intimate connection. And finally, after 50, intimacy is about intentional connection, not frantic passion. It's the physical expression of trust you've built through everything else. Here's what shifts: quality over quantity. You're not trying to set records or recreate your 25-year-old self. You're creating moments of genuine connection. Let me introduce you to something powerful: nonverbal physical intimacy. These are forms of connection that reinforce the bond outside the bedroom and actually enhance what happens inside it. Long hugs, not the polite 3-second pat, but real 20 to 30-second embraces. Research shows that hugs lasting longer than 20 seconds significantly lower blood pressure and cortisol levels while boosting oxytocin. Hand-holding during conversations or while walking, it sounds simple, but touch is a fundamental human need, and non-sexual touch builds trust. Eye contact. Psychologist Dr. Joan Kellerman found that sustained eye contact between strangers can create feelings of passionate love. Imagine what it does for people who already care about each other. Here's something nobody talks about. The greatest gift you bring to any intimate connection is your own health. Managing your hormones, getting tested for testosterone, estrogen, thyroid function, managing stress through meditation, therapy, or whatever works for you. Taking care of your cardiovascular health, because blood flow matters for arousal for all genders. Dr. Rachel Rubin, a sexual health specialist, says, "The number one thing I tell my patients over 50 is that sexual function is a barometer of overall health. When you take care of your whole body and mind, your sexual vitality follows." This reframes intimacy as holistic. It's not just about what happens in bed, it's about how you're living your entire life. Are you eating well? Moving your body? Managing stress? Staying intellectually engaged? All of that feeds into your capacity for intimate connection. And here's the beautiful truth. When the other 4 pillars are solidly in place, when you've redefined the benefits, built genuine friendship, created lifestyle synergy, and practiced radical honesty, the physical intimacy becomes the natural, beautiful culmination of everything else. It's not the main course, it's the cherry on top of an already nourishing, delicious cake. The pressure evaporates. Performance anxiety fades. You're just 2 people who care about each other, enjoying connection in all its forms. So we've covered a successful FWB relationship after 50 is a powerful partnership built on 5 pillars: redefined benefits, unconditional friendship, lifestyle synergy, radical honesty, and intentional intimacy. You are not too old for passion. You are not too old for adventure. You are not too old for deep connection. You're just wise enough now to prioritize heart and mind alongside body. You're mature enough to have the hard conversations. You're experienced enough to know that the best things in life require intention and care. Here's my final question for you, and I really want you to think about this. What's the hardest boundary to set in a connection like this? Is it asking about sexual health? Is it admitting when your feelings change? Is it protecting your own time and independence? Drop your story in the comments below. Seriously, share your experience, your fears, your questions. Your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today, to feel less alone, to gain courage, to try something new. If this video gave you a new perspective, hit that like button and subscribe to Aged and Confused. We're here every week tackling the topics nobody else will touch, giving you the real talk you deserve. Remember, life after 50 isn't about winding down. It's about firing up in smarter, more intentional ways. Now go out there and build the connection you actually want. I'm Elle, and I'll see you next time.